Demonstrating Professionalism, 4E, Part 3 of 4. Specifically, a teacher takes a leadership role in team or department decision-making and recommendations for self, colleagues, and students. We will be looking at publishing artifacts online so you can capture your leadership role, your decisions, and how they impact both yourself, your colleagues, and your students. So it's not enough just to say today that, yes, I'm a leader and I'm doing these things. We have to show that. Publishing is a huge part of growing professionally, and we are going to look at a number of tools to go ahead and do that publishing. The first one we're going to look at is Tumblr. Now, this has been around for quite some time, but I did not spend enough time digging into how easy this is for you to become a publisher of all different things. So just like any of these other sites, you have to make an account, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner, go ahead and sign up, and we're, of course, going to take the free option. And so it's tumblr.com, and what you can do, this is where I was surprised that I didn't know that you could post your photos, quotes, your links. There's a chat feature we can add, audio, as well as your video. So this could become your own digital portfolio, really, or your own interactive site. So, for example, if we were all at the same grade level or same department, we could make one, and then this could be our communication area. I thought that was an interesting way to look at it. I think it's really was designed more as an multimedia place to put all different things. Like a blog is a great place to put the written word, I guess the typed word, and that's what kind of a blog is about. But this is much richer, where you can hang different pieces of media on. And our job is to get kids college and career ready. So we need to show them all different ways that they can be communicating. And I thought this is a really interesting one to go ahead and do. I'm sure when I say that, I'm talking about older grades and making sure that we follow all the terms of service. Look at this, how easy to post audio. Now, it is not hard to record audio at all. But you could, do a podcast and you could give directions. It's not, the recording part's not hard. It is, how do you get it to your students in a way that is efficient? Like, for example, if I recorded a part of a book that I really want to emphasize for students, I can't email it. It's too big. If it was copyrighted, I wouldn't want to put it out on YouTube. And so you really have to think about how do you get these how do you get the information to the student? And so Tumblr looks like it's working with Spotify and SoundCloud. SoundCloud, I know, to go ahead and power the audio post on here. So I thought that was very interesting. And so if you want to record your podcast or an audio post, it means the same thing, you could go ahead and publish it here. I thought, very interesting. You can also create your own chat. So let's go back to our example that we are a grade level team. We could have a chat. People could be posting their audios, the videos, everything within our little Tumblr environment. I really liked that, and I thought that was very interesting. And again, then you could go ahead and share it with who you're interested in sharing it with. Here's a video. Now embed, this is the first time we've hit this term. Embed means that the video actually lives somewhere else, but it looks like it's playing on your site, and in this case, Tumblr, because you've embedded the code. It's meaning you've copied the source code and you've pasted it here, is it. Or I like you have your options. So if you want to upload a video, you can go ahead and do that, or you can embed it from another site. The great part about embedding a video, you're not saying, hey, I made this. You are just saying, you're just embedding it from here. So you're not taking somebody else's work. You're just really, it's a fancy way to make a link to it. It looks better. Okay, now, I haven't been using this, but obviously a lot of other people, when I was looking at this, I'm like, 90 million posts today? Oh, wow. And so I thought that was very, very interesting. So I need to dig in, look around a little bit more. But going back to getting kids college and career ready, these are the types of tools that they're going to start to build their digital footprint on. And they need to make sure that they understand what to put online, what not to put online, because somebody's going to be checking them out in the future. It's interesting. All right, now publishing. You might in your school district have some type of service to create websites. But what I find is that a lot of schools have an old one, it doesn't work, I have to go through the tech person, we don't have anything. So I just wanted to show us Google Sites. Google Sites is part of the tools offered through Google. You get to them going through your Gmail account. So you log in, you sign up, and you can have a website. What's great about Google Sites is you don't need to have a domain. You don't need to get web hosting and all these other things that were really, really difficult and expensive until Google Sites came along, because it is free. And another reason I love Google Sites is to help integrate all the pieces of Google that I tend to use. So you can make as many sites as you want. You just can't name the site the same thing. So if the first time you make one, you might go, oh, I don't like this. You can't reuse that name. That's the only thing that I have decided. I think we actually even found a workaround around that. But I have all different ones because every time I demonstrate, I like to show kind of a different way to start from scratch and what to pick. My vision was for the apps in education that I somehow would keep up with that. I haven't been very successful. But I have been successful in learning about the themes that you can have around the, what's nice is you can design your words, your pages, and then you can change your themes as you want. But when you change a theme, it doesn't change your actual text, which is wonderful. So if you're one of those people that need a different background every single month, you can have that, okay? It's yours. So this is one of the pages that you can add. And what's nice about this is you can see you can add files to it. You can upload images. One of the things you'll see all the way through Google Sites is you can subscribe to changes. So if we have one site for the department, everybody could subscribe, and as soon as there was a change, people would be notified through email. Okay. Apps in education. Here is some of the things that I was listing. Look at, I have action items, issues list. These are the different templates that I can use. So I can go ahead and pick from the different templates and then go ahead and design my page. I love this layout for websites because it does a beautiful job of setting things up in the columns, and then it looks so much neater. It's not just a bunch of addresses slapped onto a website. It just does a nice job of defining this page. There's a lot you can do in Google Sites. Most of it makes the connections between the other Google resources like Picasa, presentations, Google Docs, things like that. And so you can make all those connections very, very easily right within Google Sites. You can if you look in the upper right-hand corner, I left this private, and 4 people are looking at this. So what I did is when we're setting this up, I was getting ready for a workshop, and we wanted everything in one place, but we weren't ready to go live public. So we kept it private, and then just 4 of us shared that. And so that's what you're seeing here with the ability, just like everything else that we've done in Google. You decide, make it public, make it private. And so that same thing goes with Google Sites. So you might, as you're thinking about meeting this module's goal of showing your decision making, your leadership, you might want to keep it private while you're in the building creating, and then you can decide if you want to make it public. So you might not ever want to make it public, and that's okay too. But then what you would do to show evidence of your work, you could go ahead and share that with your administrator. You have some options. Now, you don't have as many options as if you were doing pure HTML coding. But the reality is most of us don't know HTML. If you do, probably Google Sites would be too simple for you. But for the rest of us that just want to fill in blanks, this is perfect. And that's what it's designed for. So one of the things you can insert is a calendar. Now, what you're doing, you're actually embedding the calendar. So what happens is you still have your Google Calendar, under your Gmail account, but you might make one, say, for homework for one of your classes. The nice part is you go ahead and have that calendar under your Gmail account, make your changes just like you always would, but then you embed it into your website. So you make your changes on your main calendar, and it flows out, all the changes flow out to your page, which is a really nice option. You can also include announcements. I thought this is so much better than it's announcements over the loudspeaker that nobody listens to. And then you can go ahead and make your changes, whatever you want to do, and add to it as needed. This is nice. Picasa is the digital image management system through Google. So Picasa, and you can actually create Picasa Web Albums. So let's say you go on a field trip and you want to go ahead and save all those images into an album. You'd put that on Picasa, and then you would embed it onto your website. So here's how to do that. So how to go ahead and insert that. There's all different gadgets that you can insert. Be careful. Some of these are definitely not appropriate for school. Definitely. And what I have found with my gadgets, some work great and some work for a while and then they don't work anymore. So that does happen. But this is a gadget. Again, something you can insert onto your site. When you go to create a page, you've got a lot of choices. You can go ahead and create using a template, whatever you want. You can go ahead and do those. You can always edit a page. You've got a lot of options here in this free offering. You can also manage each site. So all the sites you have can all be managed in a different way. And this is one that you can go change your header, your sidebar. I have had people get things in the header and they can't get the logo out, but it gets better. They keep working on it every day. You don't have to have a plain Jane website. You can go ahead and pick different backgrounds. You can also build your own custom themes, which is really a nice, flexible thing. Again, if you were a web designer, you might not need this tool, but for the rest of us, give me a background and go ahead and change. This is where you can go ahead and change those backgrounds also. Every single page has its own unique address. And so you can share that address with certain groups, however you want to go ahead and do that. Now, this publishing part of what I'm talking about is really important. It's not enough just to collect artifacts. You've got to think of a way to share them. And again, we're getting kids college and career ready, so we want to expose them to things like Google Sites, because that's a tool that they could use in the future. You might do this for your personal reflection. You might do this for your classroom. But Google Sites, again, free option. So demonstrating professionalism using Google Sites. Thanks.